Hello friends, welcome back. If you want to know how the requirement is captured from the client and broken down into minute details called user stories by a business analyst with examples in Agile framework, then you're watching the right video. Let's get started. In this video, I will be covering topics like how the requirement arises, sample of communication between a client and a business analyst to capture requirement, converting requirements into understandable formats like initiative, epics, and user stories by a business analyst. Friends, for any requirement to arise, there should be an existing problem. For example, let us assume that a company called ABC is facing a problem. That is, total revenue of the company is less. So the board members of the company will hold a board meeting to discuss about this problem. After the discussion, the board will set up a goal, that is to increase the total revenue of the company by the end of next year. To achieve this goal, they have decided to develop and launch school management software. But due to resource scarcity in the company, they have decided to outsource to develop this software to another company called XYZ company. They have also given the responsibility to one of the board member called Mary to communicate this requirement with XYZ company. Now, once the sales formalities is been executed between the ABC company and the XYZ company, the business analyst will play a very important role in capturing the requirement from the ABC company. Now, let us see the overview of involvement of a business analyst in software development under Agile principle in our example. Here, as you can see, the business analyst from the XYZ company will gather and analyze the requirement from the client. The client is Mary in our example. Later, he converts those requirements into understandable formats like initiative, epics, and user stories. And later, he communicates the requirement with the development team of the XYZ company. He also plays other important roles like he verifies the developed work, he helps in the delivery, and he also acts as a good negotiator. But in this video, we will only be talking about gathering and analyzing the requirement, converting and communicating the requirement with the development team. There are many requirement gathering techniques used in the market that are interviews, questionnaires or surveys, document analysis, user observations, workshops, and brainstorming. Depending upon the situation and the client type, any of the requirement gathering technique will be chosen. In this video, we will only go through interview technique since it is the best suited for our example. Interviews are nothing but having a one-to-one communication with the client to capture the requirement where many open-ended questions can be asked by a business analyst. Once the technique for the requirement gathering is chosen, the business analyst will have to do some preparation before going to one-to-one interview. That is, he has to research about the client or the person whom he is about to meet, define the objectives of the meeting, determine the location of the meeting, whether it is a face-to-face or it is an online meeting. Send a meeting invite at least 3 to 4 days prior. Determine how requirement is captured in the meeting. Since it is agile, there is no mandatory documentation required. It can be a notepad, it can be a Word document, or it can be a book. Be prepared to record the meeting for further reference. Please record the meeting. If it is an online meeting, record it. If it is offline, try to use some instrument which can record the meeting for further reference. Please listen to the communication between a business analyst and the client. Hello, I am Peter, working as a business analyst in XYZ company. Nice to meet you.
Hello, I am Mary. Nice to meet you as well.
Can I please know the actual requirement?
Yes, I needed to have a software to manage all the activities of school.
Okay, that is wonderful. Can I please know who are the potential users of this software?
The users will be students, teachers, parents, admin, and management.
That's great. what are the capabilities that each of this user should have in the software? Can you please start with student?
Yes, students should have capabilities like they should be able to log in and reset their password. They should be able to view class and exam timetable. They should be able to communicate with teachers or management through chat features. They should be able to view and submit their homework or projects. They should be able to view their attendance and they should be able to view their exam result.
That's great. What is the preferred type of username a student should have?
I would prefer student email ID as a preferred username to log in.
Okay. Do you have any preferred steps which student has to go through to reset their password?
Yes, he should receive a password reset link to his email ID.
That's great. Do you need a capability for students to download timetable, attendance and results?
That is a good question. Yes, I needed download capability.
Okay. Do you need a capability where student can request for leave from student module?
No, I don't want student to request for leave in student module.
Okay. Do you need to send a notification to student email ID when homework and results are updated by teacher?
Yes, I needed.
Okay. Do you want a capability where students can pay fees from student module?
No, I don't want to have payment capability in student module. I would wish to have it in parent module, which will be discussed when we talk about parent module requirement.
Sure. Can I know how many students may use this software?
Approximately 1,000 students.
Okay. What is the age limit for students to use this software?
Good question. Only students who are above 14 years can use this software.
Okay. Do you need mobile app for this software?
No, I don't need a mobile app, but please make sure that this software is mobile responsive so that the user can use it in mobile browser as well.
Sure. Do you have any preferred coding language to build this software?
No, you can build it in any language which is feasible for your team.
Sure. Do you want the entire product to be delivered at one time?
No, I don't want to wait till the entire product is developed. I would like to implement module by module based on user type so that I can see working product as soon as possible, which will add business value for us.
Yes, that is a good idea. In that case, can I know what is the priority?
Yes, I want student, parent, teacher, admin and management module to be delivered one after the other in order. Yeah, I just remembered one thing. I needed a capability where student can view and download recorded Zoom classes which may be useful during pandemic situation.
Sure. Anything else which you would like to add in the requirement?
As of now, I don't have anything else to add, but if anything comes up, we'll contact you.
Sure. Since we work on Agile principle, we can accommodate changes at any time during the product development.
That's great.
Okay. I have noted all the discussed points. I will further analyze and communicate the requirement with the development team and will start the work as soon as possible.
Thank you. I have one request.
Yes, please.
Can you demo the work completed after each sprint so that I will know if everything is going according to requirement?
Sure, we'll do that.
That's great. Thank you very much. It was nice talking to you.
Me too. Thank you. You can also reach me at peter@xyz.com if you need any help. Once the requirement is captured, the next step is to break the requirement from initiative to epics and from epics to user stories. Let us see how to do it in the most simple way. First is initiative. Initiative is a step taken to achieve a goal. In our example, they have decided to develop and launch school management software to increase the total revenue of the company. So initiative can be to develop and launch school management software. Since school management software will have different modules like student module, teacher module, parents module, admin module, and management module. Each of these modules can be called as epics, since epics are large bodies of work which can be further broken down into minute details. Now, if I go and tell the development team to develop a student module or a teacher module, it may not be possible from them because they need more minute details like what are the capabilities students should have or what are the capabilities a teacher should have. That is the reason epics should be further broken down into minute details called user stories. In our example, as you can see, student module is broken down into many user stories like student login page is a user story, student should be able to reset password is a user story, student should be able to view class and exam timetable is a user story, should be able to communicate with teachers or management is a user story, should be able to view and submit their homework is a user story, should be able to view the attendance is a user story, should be able to view their exam results is another user story, should be able to view or download the recorded classes is another user story. In the similar way, teacher module and the parent module will also be broken down into many user stories. Now, let us see how to write student login page user story in the best format with all the supporting information. A user story is the smallest unit of work in an agile framework. It is always written from the end user's perspective. The best format to write a user story is as an end user. End user is the person who uses the product. That is the end user wants a functionality so that the end user gets some benefit. In our example, the end user is a student. So as a student, I want to have a login functionality. That is, student wants to have a login functionality so that I can successfully use student module. That is, the benefit student gets from this functionality is that he can successfully use student module. So let us see what are the supporting information a student login page user story should have. Summary, that is nothing but the title of the story. In our example, we can give title as student login page. Next is user story itself. That is, as a student, I want to have a login functionality so that I can successfully use student module. Next is scope. That is the expected output. That is to build a login page, to validate student by logging in, to make sure the student should be able to log in using their email ID. Scope is very much important for a developer and a QA. Next is the precondition. That is the criteria which students should have to successfully use this functionality. In our example, students should have registered in school to use the login functionality. Next is non-functional requirements like it should work in all the browsers, it should work in mobiles or tabs as well. Next is we can also attach UX and UI attachment which will show how the student login page should look. Next is acceptance criteria. That is the condition that a product must meet to be accepted by the user. This is the format to write acceptance criteria. To know more about acceptance criteria, please watch the related video in my channel. Now, as you can see, we can have two scenarios to the story. One is student can log in successfully. That is, given I am on login page, when I provide valid username and password and I click on sign in, then I will log in successfully. This is a positive scenario. Another one is student cannot log in successfully. Given I am on login page, when I provide invalid username and password and I click on sign in, then I will get an error message, please provide valid credential. This is a negative scenario. Friends, to know how to capture all this information in JIRA tool, please watch the related video in my channel. I will also put the link in the video description. Thank you friends. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel.